Welcome to the glitz and glamour of UHN's Diwali, a night to shine. Diwali, the Festival of Lights, is one of the most important events on the Indian calendar. It celebrates the triumph of light over darkness, good over evil, and the blessings of victory, freedom, and enlightenment. Now in its 11th year, the gala has raised more than $11 million for various programs at UHN. Proceeds from this year's gala will support Toronto Rehab at UHN. As is befitting Diwali celebrations, the hundreds of guests in attendance are in a joyous mood and certain to enjoy an evening filled with dynamic performances and exquisite South Asian cuisine. Let's enjoy Diwali, a night to shine. Well, my guest now is synonymous with Diwali galas, UHN Diwali galas. I'm with Mr. Raj Kothari, who is chair of the board of directors of UHN Foundation, and he's one of the original pilots of the Diwali A Night to Shine. Look, it's been so many years, Mr. Kothari, and we've come a long way, but it's always a wonderful event. This is a top-notch event, isn't it?
Thank you. I really do believe this is one of the best events from a Diwali perspective in Canada, and we should all be proud as South Asians and as Canadians that we can host such a multicultural South Asian event on this scale.
Tell me a little bit about the growth that you've seen. You've been with the Diwali Gala, since its inception. You've been one of the founders. Tell me about the growth that you've seen and how people have come together because of this.
So when we started about 10 years ago, we grossed about $1 million. And then of course, we were learning from that experiment, but now we are taking in about $1.6 to $1.8 million and netting at least 1.2. So in the last 10 years, we have raised over $12 million net. So again, the growth is obvious. We have more people than we can accommodate. We had to decline a lot of people because we don't have room.
Tell me a little bit about Raj Kothari's passion in doing this kind of work. Talk a little bit about what's behind you that motivates you for this.
You see, we all live for ourselves. The gratification that I get by giving back is huge. Everybody does give, maybe when they are dead. To me, giving while living, whether it be money, whether it be time, etc., and you can touch people's lives, that is the most gratifying thing for me, and that's why I'm here. Now, this is the time, as they say, you are sometimes judged by the legacy you leave. When Scotiabank advised me of other priorities that they were going to focus on, I needed to find somebody else. And we did. Didn't take us a moment because these guys are knocking at our door. And I would like to invite Kevin Hibbert, Chief Financial Officer and Senior Managing Partner at Sprott, to please join me on the stage. So you can guess why I'm inviting Kevin. I don't want to steal his glory, but I'll let him tell you what they are proposing to do. Kevin? Oh yeah, he will. Does anybody want to buy his shoes? Go to him afterwards. He'll auction them for you.
There you go. All the presenters were really short. All right, let me just. Sorry, I was thinking that I shouldn't have said it out loud. Apologies. Okay, well, thank you, Raj. Well, tonight is truly an amazing evening supporting a critically important cause. I've had the pleasure of knowing Raj for close to maybe 15 years or so. And over that time, Raj, your passion for giving back to our city, and in particular through the UHN Foundation, has been exemplary, with the Diwali Night to Shine Gala clearly being the crown jewel in the long list of accomplishments you've had for the hospital network. So for that, I personally thank you. At Sprott, we are passionate and we are purpose-driven. Our purpose is to provide leading-edge investment solutions to those seeking exposure to precious metals and energy transition materials, and we seek to do so in a manner consistent with the values instilled in us by our company founder, Mr. Eric Sprott. One of the values he instilled long ago that remains with us to this day is the importance of giving back in meaningful ways that transcend simply cutting checks. That means investing not only our financial resources, but also our time and energy into worthy causes. Besides the over $50 million of transformational gifts that Eric has given through his personal foundation over the years to UHN and Sprott through its charitable giving program, we also encourage our employees to be actively involved in various ways with the hospital network, including Vinny, who is a long-serving member of the Night to Shine committee and this year's co-chair. I myself as a board member of the foundation, and several of our employees who find different ways to get involved with the hospital network on their own time. So needless to say, we are absolutely thrilled to be taking over the lead sponsorship role next year, and would like to sincerely thank Scotiabank for its exemplary partnership with the foundation over the years. You left big shoes to fill, but at Sprott we are known for punching above our weight and finding innovative ways to create compelling value. In fact, we already have a few things in store to make next year's gala and the years to come especially memorable, to the benefit of, at least in my opinion, the greatest hospital network in the world. So, on behalf of all of us at Sprott, my fellow UHN board members, and my wife Anne-Marie, who's a patron of this year's gala, I thank you all sincerely for your continued support, and I am pleased to announce, should I say the number? You want me to say the number?
You don't need to say the dollars, but tell you how many years you're doing it.
All right, so we're going to do this for the next 5 years, and hopefully if Raj will allow it, and if I promise to tone down the shoes, we'll keep extending those sponsorships well into the future. Thank you.
With me now is Dr. Kathy Craven, who is a senior scientist at the Kite Research Institute. And kite, I have to tell you, has nothing to do with kite flying, as Dr. Craven will soon tell us. She's also medical director for spinal cord injuries. Dr. Craven, thank you for taking the time to chat with us. First of all, let me ask you, how are you enjoying Diwali and Night to Shine?
We're having a fabulous time. This is a really fun cultural event and a really great opportunity to celebrate the great things going on at UHN and to help us with our fundraising.
I dare say it gets better and better every year. This, what, is your third time or so here?
This is my third time here, yes. I think this is the seventh occasion that this event has gone on, so it's really exciting for us, yeah.
Now, Dr. Craven, let me first of all ask you, what is KITE? What does it stand for? And what is KITE's relationship to UHN and the Toronto Rehab?
Great question, and just as a simple explanation, KITE, K-I-T-E, is an acronym that stands for knowledge, innovation, talent, everywhere. And KITE is the Rehabilitation Research Institute that is found inside Toronto Rehab and spread across all the sites of Toronto Rehab, which is a part of the University Health Network.
You see, I have to ask a little bit further. It may be obvious to you and many others, some of our viewers, but let me say this. Our viewers will very likely, well, not very likely, they must be familiar with hospitals, and you get sick and you have an illness of some sort, and the hospitals look after you, you feel better, and away you go. But then there's a rehab aspect to things where if you don't really need that, some people may not know the role that Toronto Rehab plays. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Okay. So for people who've had life-changing illnesses or injuries, so maybe a stroke or perhaps a brain injury or spinal cord injury from a motor vehicle accident, or someone who's had a very complicated hip or knee replacement, we do have them come to Toronto Rehab, where people will stay anywhere from 10 to 110 days. And while they're there, they get to know the team. They work with an interprofessional team, so a physician like myself, nurses, physical and occupational therapists, speech-language pathologists, respiratory therapists. We work to help rehab them back to the best they can be, what we call functional restoration. And we also try to integrate them back into the community, into their old roles. So if you were a parent, getting back to parenting. If you used to work, thinking about, can you get back to work, or would you need to work differently going forward? So we try to get people back in their communities with their families and friends. And many people over their lifetime are going to have a disability, whether it's short-term or long-term. And Toronto Rehab is here to support both types of people. We have a really great concussion clinic for sports and athletes who have minor brain trauma from sports injuries, and then we have longer programs like complex continuing care or the spinal cord injury program, where people are with us for months, but then they go back home and take on life.
So Kite Clinics is an entity that we created about 4 years ago, and this is an environment that we created so that we could accelerate our discoveries into practice. So in Kite Clinics, what we do is we actually offer therapy or interventions to patients. And often what we offer to them is what's not available within the publicly funded system. So if patients are looking for new innovative technologies or treatments, they can come to us and access those therapies. So we do that, and in addition to that, we offer a lot of experimental treatments. So treatments that are not yet approved by Health Canada, but we are doing studies related to these treatments. And if patients are interested in learning more about them or participating in studies, they can come to Kite Clinics and have access to those types of treatments.
Well, they just don't come to Kite Clinics, do they? Do they not kind of get referred through the hospital, or, is that? Because I think, and I spoke to Dr. Craven about this, a lot of people know that if they get ill, they go to the hospital and then they're treated for whatever the ailment is. But they don't know what happens after that if you really get injuries and so on. But there's a lot of work there going in, and you have a whole facility there for doing research and so on. It's got to be a very, very interesting field. It's not new, but it's big. It's an important field here now, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. So most of the work we do is for neurological problems, so patients that have strokes or spinal cord injury, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis. And much of what we offer is therapy that's not delivered within the healthcare system. So we offer physiotherapy, occupational therapy services when patients have sort of completed their rehab journey within the public system. So much of what we do, people are often looking for, they just don't know where to find it.
I actually arrived at UHN about 8 weeks ago, and I was absolutely thrilled to not only join the #1 hospital in the country, but also to join the #1 foundation team in the country. So I do want to say thank you, absolutely. And a big thank you to the foundation team and the volunteers here tonight, because it is extremely important. This is a gathering of the community, so it's important that we have all of that support. And I'm here this evening as well. A big thank you to my son Noah, who you all met a little earlier, who's the one who kicked my butt to make sure that I had the courage to come to Toronto from Montreal and join this exceptional institution. Yeah, absolutely, thank you. One of the things that surprised me the most in arriving to this incredible city is how few people actually know that they have the #1 hospital in the country right here. And it really is an exceptional institution. I would not have come from the McGill system for any other institution than UHN. And why is it #1? This is a question I've received a few times. Let's look at the #2 hospital in the country. It raises, which is McGill, $200 million in investment in research a year. UHN does $500 million. Yeah. UHN has more than 5,000 people working just in research. It's an incredible organization. It does nearly 5,000 publications a year. That is the output that we look for. It's not just about number of people, it's about what are the discoveries that UHN is responsible for. It really is Canada's contribution to healthcare. And what does this mean for all of us? It means that when our loved ones need access to healthcare, we have the very top talent right here in the city, and it is 100% thanks to the generosity of this community. We could not have the very best hospital without your generous donations. Really, thank you so much.
Like Julie, I want to recognize our governance dream team at UHN, our chair, Dean Connor, our immediate past chair, Brian Porter, our deputy chair, Cornell Wright, and of course the chair of the foundation and one of the driving forces of originating this remarkable evening, Diwali, Raj Katari. All gentlemen, thank you very much. As you know, Diwali is the festival of light, and light symbolizes light over darkness, good over evil, hope over despair, and knowledge over ignorance. And as I thought a bit about that, I think that's exactly the role of University Health Network. A top academic hospital where people work hard each and every day to foster light, goodness, hope, knowledge, all in service of our motto, a healthier world, here and beyond. The generous support from you, our most generous philanthropic donors, is instrumental to everything we do, as Julie said, at University Health Network, whether that's direct clinical care, remarkable research, amazing health professional education, and really, truly innovative approaches that have the potential to be commercialized and spread around the world. Your investments make that truly possible. I'm also always proud, although we know lists have their pros and cons, to see UHN recognized as one of the top 5 hospitals in the world. Hear, hear. But what I'm most proud of is it's the only hospital in that top 10 list where, regardless of your economic circumstances, if you come to us for care, you will get the best standard of care anywhere. Tonight's event will support a very important part of University Health Network, our Toronto Rehab sites, and of course our Toronto Rehab Research Institute, known as KITE. I know Dr. Pavlovich is here tonight representing the Institute. I know he'll want to talk to you more about the remarkable research that is truly changing lives from catastrophic illnesses that require rehabilitation and give people back the kind of life that they want and deserve.